Power BI is one of the most famous self-service business intelligence tools, assisting data analysts, business analysts, product managers, and also digital marketers in visualizing their business data into actionable insights as quickly as possible. If you're interested in learning Power BI or wondering how you can expand your knowledge of Power BI to an advanced level, this video is for you. We have collected the top 60 Power BI topics into 9 general categories that are practical and should be learned to get the most value out of this tool for your business. So let's dive into each category and see the subtopics that you should learn in order to implement different layers of this software on your data. In the first step, as usual for each software that you want to learn, is getting familiar with the environments and different tabs that software provides for you for different purposes. For Power BI, you should learn different tabs and the general environments of this software, such as Insert, Modeling, Optimize, and 3 main views which it provides for you for analyzing your data. The first part is the report view, the second is the table view, and the third one is the relationship view. The report view is where you have the final output of your design, that can be a dashboard. In the table view, you have access to tables that you have imported within the Power BI. And finally, in the relationship view, you can see different relations which you have between different tables of your database. So in the first step, you should put a time for environment and different tabs which you have in Power BI. The next category for learning the Power BI, it's about the Power Query. What is Power Query? Power Query is the models of the Power BI which help you for data cleaning, data pre-processing, and data transformation. Before working on your data, you should make it clean and do different pre-processing steps in order to be trusted for analyzing in next step. In this part, you should be familiar with the query editor tabs and different tools which we have for data pre-processing. We have different tools for text transformation, number transformation, how we can add different columns to our data, the concepts of grouping, aggregation, pivot, unpivot, how to merge or append, and the difference between the merging and the appending, which is really important in Power BI. Data source settings, and the M language, and finally automation. The Power Query works with the M language. It is not necessary to learn the M language from scratch. Just you should know how you can automate different tasks which you have by manipulation in the M language. So the basic knowledge of M language would be enough for you in this step. After Power Query, it's time to talk about the data model. In the data model, we should know different designing methods which we have for our data, different schemas that we have for data warehouse, dimensions and facts. What are the dimensions of my data? And what are the facts of my data? And how is my data warehouse designed, the relationship between the facts and the dimensions? So here you should be familiar with the concepts of relationships, cardinality, and finally, in order to make the best data model, you should know different optimization techniques, which is really important when we are going to improve the speed of our tools in terms of the visualization, loading the data, and other important factors. Therefore, you should know what are the best practice for your data model and how you can optimize your data model at the best level. After learning the data model concepts, it's time to talk about one important topic of Power BI, which we can consider it as the brain of Power BI, and that is data analysis expressions. This is really important. This is the language, also known as the DAX, and help you to define different measures, different calculated columns, and key performance indicators for your data. Imagine that what you did in the Microsoft Excel, such as formula, in order to define different calculations. Here you have something like that, of course, in another layer that help you to define what you want on your data. As you know, as the data analyst who work with the Power BI, the valuable purpose of you is to transform the raw data to the actionable insights. So you should know what measures you need, what KPI and what columns you should add to your data. Therefore, as you expand your knowledge on the data analysis expressions, you have more flexibility in defining different measures for your business. Here there are different concepts such as filter and row context that you should know, different operators which we have, and different functions. Functions in the math and statistics, logical functions, text functions, time intelligence functions which work with the time. For example, you want to extract your sales in the same time but in the last quarter or in the previous year, which help you to compare different time and give you different perspective for analyzing your sale data. And of course, how you can filter your data based on different dimensions that you have on your business. After learning the DAX, it's time to talk about the visuals, which is another important modules of Power BI. When we are talking about the visualization, keep in mind the main questions that you should ask. First, what do you want to communicate with your data? Are you going to compare two different things, or your communication is about the composition, is about relationship or distribution? It is a strategy that helps you to detect which visualization is best for you. The next question is, who is the end user that want to use your data? Is that the analyst? Is that the manager? Or that's the general person who want to see your data? Because it helps you to decide about the levels of analysis that you want to design. And finally, you should know what type of data you have and you're working with. Is your data based on time and it is kind of time series data? Or that is the categorical, numeric, or hierarchical data? All of these three questions help you in deciding the best visuals for your purpose. And based on that, is that the comparison, relationship, composition, distribution. We have the variety of visualizations and gallery for visualization that help you to decide. And one of the strength point of Power BI is in providing different visualization with the wide varieties that you can choose the best based on your business need. And then you should know how you can have different formatting for different visuals which we have. So until now, you make the best data model for your data. Of course, before that, you have cleaned your data. You have defined the best measures and KPIs which you need for your data, and you know what visualizations you need for your data. Now it's time to go to the report view. In the report view, you should design your dashboards, the general overview which you want to communicate with. Therefore, you should know how to design report views and different concepts which we have, how you can change your layout in terms of the beauty of your reports. What are the drill down and drill up or drill through concepts? Because they make your report more flexible in order to have analysis in different layers, concepts of your business, and how you can navigate between different reports or within the report, and the interaction that you have between different visualization within the report. After learning the report view, it's time to talk about report server. Until now, you have developed your reports on the Power BI desktop version. If you want to publish your report onto the server in order to give the accessibility to different peoples of your organization, you need to learn how to publish your Power BI report onto the report server. You should know how to configure your report server, different level of managements and roles which you want to define, and if you want to customize your layout, what kinds of steps you should do. So these modules is completely different with whatever you have learned before report server, because the report server is based on the Power BI report server version. However, the report view, visuals, and other previous topics are based on the Power BI desktop. After this step, it's time to expand your knowledge in the scenario based learning, which is the best methods for learning the Power BI. I mean, you should learn and implement what you have learned based on different scenarios. For example, you should learn and work with the sales data and create a dashboard and analysis on sales data, on the customer data, financial data, and marketing data. You should know what kinds of KPI you have to define, for example, for customer analytics. By learning these 4 categories and creating the separate dashboards for these 4 categories, I can guarantee you that you have learned all the previous steps in the perfect manner. And after that, you can be mastery at Power BI in order to implement what dashboards that your business needs. And finally, as the last category, we have put advanced topic, which should be on your plan if you want to expand your knowledge of Power BI. For advanced topic, there are different topics which we have. Since we have the relationship and integration between the Power BI and other programming languages, if you want to have more flexibility, you can learn how you can communicate and make a relationship between R and Power BI, or Python and Power BI. Therefore, it needs that you have the previous knowledge of R and Python, which are the 2 famous language for data analysts. And here, if you need some custom connectors, you can learn about custom connectors, how you can create custom connectors, because always we do not have our data in the famous databases, and sometimes we need to create a custom connectors. Of course, here there are 2 important topics in terms of dynamic measures and dynamic dimensions. You can learn how you can implement dynamic measures and dynamic dimensions. However, these 2 topics are not really in the advanced level. If you learn the DAX and data analysis expressions in the good level, you can easily implement both dynamic measures and dimensions. What if analysis is another part of Power BI, which helps you more flexibility in the report view in order to change different and vital parameters that you have in your business. And finally, the data mining concepts which we have in the Power BI. So these were the most important topics that each data analyst who worked with Power BI should plan and learn them in order to be mastery at Power BI and create whatever he or she wants for its business for making the most value out of raw data into the actionable insights.